What's up, y'all? It's Danny from the Wise Wolf podcast. Today, I just want to do something kind of quick. I want to explain to everyone what being spiritual is. I feel like that's like the very first question people question when they start to become themselves more and dive into their true essence of why they were here and what the meaning of life is. For all you factual people, I researched the definition of the word spirituality, and it is a personal exploration of the recognition of a feeling, sense, or belief that there is a greater energy beyond yourself. So I feel like a lot of people think that being spiritual means like you don't have a religion. So being spiritual, you can be any religion, because I feel like any religion has like a higher power or like someone that like they look up to and praise, and how we are all connected. So if you are a Christian, you are spiritual. If you are a Buddhist, you're a Christian. If you are a Buddhist, you are spiritual. Any type of religion that you are in, you are a spiritual being. This can also relate to if you don't specify yourself into a religion, but you do believe that there is a greater person, a God, a universal energy, and that we are all connected, that can still mean that you're spiritual even if you don't classify under like a specific religion. So something that spiritual people also believe is that you go somewhere after your physical body is done on earth. Your spirit still goes beyond and goes somewhere else afterwards. You also believe that we are all connected to one another and there's a greater power, as I already said. I think being spiritual is for everyone. Everyone can be spiritual because it's just such a beautiful thing. And I think before being spiritual, even when I was a Christian, I was always scared of dying and just being like darkness and there would be nothing after life on earth. And I feel like I had so many nightmares and just bad thoughts, and I just wasn't living my best life because really didn't think there was any point. I didn't think there was no point in being on earth and that we would just die and it would be done, but that is not true at all. So if you think that and you want to change your perspective, I highly suggest you listen to obviously the rest of this podcast and my other ones, because it will make you start to feel so much better about yourself and life, and it will help guide you to become a happier, better version of yourself. So I feel like going deeper of spirituality, there is deep levels of every religion. But I think what is most talked about for being like a spiritual person is that you find a truth in all religions, and you believe that there is a reason that your soul or your spirit chose to come to earth. There's a lesson to be learned for you, and that you chose to come here to experience earth, to learn that lesson and to learn about love. And there's also people like old souls or star seeds, which is a whole different conversation, but it's basically about people that are reincarnated, or they had the human experience and then they choose to come back to help guide and teach others to becoming the best version of themselves and finding themselves again. I'm so passionate about people coming to spirituality wherever and however that may be, because it's just such a beautiful community, and it's beautiful to know that you were part of something greater than yourself. And I feel like before spirituality, or when people don't know about being spiritual, they're just so lost and alone, and I just want to help bring the topic of spirituality into more people's lives. So that's obviously why I'm creating this podcast, and I love how spirituality is becoming more like mainstream. Like if you see like a lot of angel numbers around, that is spirituality. And although like it can be annoying, I can see how it can be annoying, how it's becoming mainstream, and like a lot of people don't like it, but I love that it's becoming mainstream, and I love that it's becoming more accessible and people are learning more about it, and I just think it's so beautiful, and I'm so happy that I get to be a part of that community that gets to teach you guys about being spiritual. Also, if you guys would like to learn about angel numbers or your angels or spirit guides giving you signs, I could do another podcast about that too, because I do have a lot of knowledge about that as well. I kind of want to go into the topics of more fact-based things to back up being spiritual, I guess. Because if you're like me, it's so important to like kind of have that science or that fact that like backs it up. So I think something that when I first started becoming spiritual or was brought into the idea, I think I read somewhere this, that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred. Our consciousness cannot just dissipate, and that's backed up by physics. It's not just a woo woo, like, hippie thing. Like, this is factual science and physics. Your soul, when you die, it is something inside of you. Like, science has proven that, like, our brain waves are something more than ourselves. And the fact that when we die, this is gone in our physical body, they can't explain where it goes, but it definitely goes somewhere. Like, it's not just nowhere. Like, your consciousness goes somewhere, and I believe it goes to, like, this collective of the souls where I don't want to get deep into it because there's a whole nother conversation. But I know for a fact that we don't just go into nothingness. Like, we do go somewhere, and we're also somewhere else before we are born. I kind of want to touch base on this other topic. I don't know if some people would pertain it to spirituality or just learning more about yourself, but a lot of people like believe these thoughts that like we're a part of a greater higher power, we are all connected, blah blah blah. But I think diving deeper into spirituality comes manifestation, the law of attraction, and having a soul purpose. So when I get deeper into this stuff, a lot of people start to question it because I don't know why, honestly, actually, because I even questioned it. I was like, that's like some woo woo stuff, but it's not. These things I'm about to talk about pertain to anyone. It's not a religion. You don't even need to be like spiritual to believe this. They're just kind of things that we aren't taught. I don't know. It's just things about us that we aren't taught by our parents or by school or anything. But one of those things being manifestation, which is about believing and knowing that you are going to become this higher version of yourself, this better version of you in the future. And so since you are believing that, you are attracting that closer to yourself. And this also comes with hard work and dedication, obviously. But manifesting your dream life is so beautiful, and to learn about it is even more beautiful. There's so many books on the topic, but I also do a podcast about manifestation. Another thing is the law of attraction, which also plays a role in manifestation, but basically the law of attraction is scientifically proven. It's basically about what something is what will be attracted to it. So like when have you ever heard of like bad vibes? So bad vibes is a thing when you basically, okay, start from the beginning. Our bodies are vibrating at like a certain frequency. It's basically a bunch of atoms just vibrating. And when you're having a low vibration or bad vibes, you're like down on yourself. You think nothing works out for you. You always have bad luck. You just always have like these bad thoughts. So your body atoms are vibrating at this specific frequency. And so when that happens, then you aren't going to attract good things to you, since you're putting out into the universe all these bad things, and bad things are kind of going to be drawn to you. And this is the same when you are having good thoughts and good vibrations. When you're thinking like good things always happen to me, I had the best luck, the future is going to be so bright for me, like you just kind of have like, you're just a little hippie, I guess. You're just like happy about everything, and you know that everything's going to work out for you. When you have that mindset, it does come attracted to you. That thing just gets pulled towards you. Something I can relate this to that will be better understanding for you guys is like when you tune into a radio frequency in your car. Say in your car, and you like turn your frequency to like 101.1. So when you are tuning in, your car is attracting that frequency towards it. I don't really know how to explain that, but that is a real thing about law of attraction, and that's just like something in our life we don't really think about. Because, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, we can tune in to, like, a frequency that's, like, invisible in the air. Like, everyone believes that, and everyone believes, like, oh, you can pick up the phone and call someone, like, halfway across the country. And that's invisible. You can't see that. Like, it just floats in the air. Like, that's almost like magic, but then people don't believe in, like, frequencies, which is proven. I just think it's really interesting. And I was one of those people. So, like, you're not alone if you believed that. It's just so crazy when you stop to actually think about how things work. And yeah, so manifestation, law of attraction. You can listen to my other podcasts on those topics because it is very interesting and it is very real. So I feel like diving into even deeper into like spirituality gets even more woo woo, I guess. I just recently started diving deeper into like mediums and psychic readings. I watched some podcasts of this lady, something Lynn, Laura Lynn Jackson, I think was her name. And she basically can read people's auras and like how they're feeling. Also can see who like people are surrounded with. Like if you could see like she could probably see like my father, my dad passed away a couple years ago. She'd be able to like see my dad with me. She can see those kinds of things. And a lot of people don't want to believe that, which I didn't believe it. But I feel like until you personally have that experience, there's no way they can know those things about you. So it's like, how do you prove that? I don't know. I think that's really interesting. That's something I definitely want to learn more about. And then maybe when I learn more about it, I can share it with you guys. But that's just some more deeper into spirituality, which I am also learning about. Anyways, so yeah, that is what being spiritual is about. Again, spirituality is in any religion, and the things about spirituality can pertain to any religion. And yeah, I guess that's it. This one's kind of quick, but I hope this kind of cleared up some questions or thoughts you guys might have about being spiritual or what it means to be a spiritual person. If you liked this podcast, I really appreciate it if you gave me a review because it would help me to want to create more, and also it helps my podcast to reach other people who could also be wanting this information, and it could really impact their life as well. So yeah, thank you for tuning in and listening to the end. I love y'all, and I hope you guys listen to my next podcast. Peace.